Even though we are in the Hall of Heroes, I know that if I was ever in trouble, I would call upon this next group to help me out. As you know, director James Gunn announced in February that filming had wrapped for The Suicide Squad. And right now, he's taken a break from the edit bay to be here with us to discuss his vision for the film, answer fan questions, and have some insanely crazy fun with the cast. And, of course, share some never-before-seen content with us. Check it out.
This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here at DC Fandome with all the amazing DC fans. As many of you know, The Suicide Squad is by far the most fun I've ever had making a movie. I am still working hard on it every day from morning till night, but we're having a great time creating something incredibly special for people. And I'd like to take this break now to take some questions from you guys.
Hey, James. When was the first time you ever read Suicide Squad as a comic book? And who was your favorite character?
I read John Ostrander's original run of Suicide Squad. So I remember reading the very first issue of that run and falling in love with the concept, with the characters. I loved the movie The Dirty Dozen that came out back in the 60s. And this was like a super villain version of The Dirty Dozen. And I loved the character of Amanda Waller, who was so different for the time, you know, in terms of being such a strong woman, but not kind of an anti-hero, but kind of bad, kind of good, not physically the same as everybody else you saw in comic books. And I just thought she was so cool. And of course, I loved all the characters and Boomer and everybody. And I just had a great time reading that initial run.
My name is Maisha Kondakar, and I'm a loyal DC fan, and I'm making this video from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I have a question for James Gunn. Which DC character were you most excited to write about for the Suicide Squad movie, and why?
Maisha, I think the character that I was the most excited to write for was Harley Quinn. I've loved this character ever since Paul Dini first put her in animated shows. I think that there's a sort of chaotic trickster god nature to her where she's just always going off in random directions. And as a writer, that's a really fun thing to deal with because she takes you in places where you don't know you're going to go. So a lot of it was me writing for Harley, and a lot of it was Harley doing some of the writing for me during the Suicide Squad.
Hey, I'm Jake from State Farm, and setting aside the massive amounts of damage that you must have had the squad rack up in that one scene, can you confirm the number of crashes and explosions? You know, asking for a friend.
Hey, Jake, I cannot confirm the exact amount of explosions and crashes, but I will say that we have about as many explosions and crashes in this film as in any film ever. In fact, the guy who did all of our special effects on this film, Dan Sudik, who has done almost all of the Marvel movies, great movies, says that there are more effects in this film than all of those movies he's done combined. So we have quite a huge special effect explosion extravaganza for you guys.
You've said Ostrander's run was influential, but what else inspired you to feature these under-the-radar characters?
That is an amazing question, and one I'm excited to answer because I actually had a long talk with John Ostrander, you know, about this because he came and he visited the set, and I said I don't think of this movie so much as an adaptation of your comics. I think of this movie as a sequel to your comics, to your run in the comic books. What would John Ostrander be doing with these characters, you know, if it was 30 years after he first started? And so I think that it has the spirit and the lifeblood of the Ostrander books, but I also like to continuously take in new supervillains, other supervillains who have sometimes been in the Suicide Squad comics over the years, but also a lot of, you know, characters like Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher who have never been in the Suicide Squad, but who I just think are great DC villains who have something to offer and that we could have put into the movies. So that is where my biggest inspiration comes from.
Who were your favorite villains as a kid? And did working on this movie teach you anything new about these quote-unquote villains?
Wow, who were my favorite villains growing up? Well, I was a huge Batman fan, and I'm going to tell you who my favorite villain was, and maybe it's a little embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed by it. It was Batmite. I loved Batmite. I thought he was hilarious and creepy as heck. So Batmite was definitely my favorite supervillain. And don't think I didn't think about putting the Batmite in the Suicide Squad, because I did.
I saw the set photos of the Suicide Squad and I absolutely love the direction of the movie. But is it true that Flora Borg is playing Javelin Man? And if so, why? Also, is Nathan Fillion playing Blackguard?
Hey, Milan. So, is Flula playing Javelin Man? Well, his name isn't exactly Javelin Man, but in mere moments, we are going to see who Flula and Nathan are playing in the film. And I'll give you a hint. One of them you got pretty correct, and the other one you didn't get correct. And there's a lot of people all over the internet who have theories about who people are playing, and sometimes they've been right, and sometimes they've been wrong. And so I guess we're going to answer all those questions in a minute. But I will tell you one thing, which is Flula Borg is the funniest guy in the entire world and incredibly strange. But he's become a good friend through all this, and he's a great guy. And Nathan, of course, has been in all my movies. He's already been a friend. Here it comes, the time that so many of you guys have been waiting for. Who is who in the squad? You've heard a lot of the actors that are in this movie. You don't know who they're playing. Maybe you have some good guesses. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. We'll have to see. But here it is, everything.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
You're my dream, you're my nightmare. Life is a dream, she don't fight fair.
Welcome to Task Force X. These are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Run away from the pain, I don't care. 'Cause I think I need some guiding. No, the kids don't stand a chance. Old man, something back again. I'm back to the black again. My plans like, oh no, oh no. Old man, trouble back again. Thought I had the upper hand, oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again. Getting to my plans like, oh no, oh no. First day in sight, the violence turn around. Then day in fight, the silence turn it down. I think I need some guidance. No, the kids don't stand a chance. Oh no! Old man, trouble back again. Thought I had the upper hand. Oh no! Oh no! I'm back to the black again. Getting to my plans like, oh no! Oh no! Old man, trouble back again. Thought I had the upper hand. Oh no! Oh no! I'm back to the black again. Oh no!
Here we go. We are introducing the cast and the characters they're playing of the Suicide Squad. First of all, we have Idris Elba as Bloodsport. John Cena as Peacemaker. David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot Man. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Nathan Fillion as TDK. Flula Borg as Javelin. This is like a really messed up Brady Bunch. Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2. Pete Davidson is Blackguard. Mei-Ling Ing as Mangao. Michael Rooker, unfortunately, is Savant. I had to put him in the movie. I deal with the devil. Peter Capaldi as the Thinker. Sean Gunn is Weasel. Steve Agee is John Economos and our on-set King Shark.
Yes.
Alicia Braga as Sol Soria. Juan Diego Boco is General Presidente Silvio Luna. Real great guy. Joel Kinnaman is, of course, Rick Flag. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. And, of course, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Hey, everybody.
Go here! Together again!
together.
Good.
Good.
Doing great.
Good.
Are you excited to be a part of DC Fandome?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super excited. This is going to be great.
Well, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to have some competition, which it's not fun unless there's somebody winning and somebody losing. And so I would like to have a couple of team leaders, and I think it only makes sense that we have the people in charge of the Suicide Squad, Viola Davis and Joel Kinnaman, as our team leaders.
Hey, team leaders.
And why don't you guys go ahead and let's pick teams.
Bloodsport.
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
Definitely.
All right, I'll take my girl, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
I will take Savant.
Oh, good for you.
Wow.
What a bad mistake.
That is a bad pick. That is. And you guys have scenes together too. I can't believe you made that mistake.
I gotta tell you, you just made a big mistake.
John Cena. I'll take John Cena.
I want to reassure you that is a horrible decision.
No, I already know.
I'm going to take my boy, King Shark.
I want King.
Okay, I will take my man, Boomer, Jai Courtney.
You.
All right.
Ratcatcher.
Yes.
Ratcatcher 2.
2.
Two. I will take Flula Borg, the Javelin.
Yes. I guarantee we will lose. Yes.
I'm going to take Polka Dot Man.
Thank you.
Yes.
And now.
I'm gonna have to grab the weasel.
Oh, good man.
That's not on Rooker's team. Yeah.
The ways of
Is that everybody?
Out of names.
What about what's making me feel really bad?
There's left.
There's only
So
one
sad.
left.
It feels like high school again.
Did someone?
It totally feels like high school.
This is what it was like, the basketball team.
Yeah, the thinker.
Great idea.
Viola picks the thinker.
Nathan
You guys are
Fillion,
losing already.
DJ.
Sol Soria.
El Presidente.
Okay.
What about Mongo?
We got picked by Joel.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Good idea.
Pete, this is sad.
Victory cigarette.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a good pick. Black guard. Okay.
That went well. I think that went really well.
And let's start off. We're going to go head to head, and we're going to start off with the team captains. Let's do Joel and Viola. I'm going to pick. This is a good question.
Okay.
I know both of you know so much about the lore of DC Comics. There's a multiple choice, so you don't have to look terrible. Out of all the squad members, who are the only characters to have had their own comic series? There's 2 of them, and I'm gonna list 4 options. A, Harley Quinn and King Shark. B, Harley Quinn and Amanda Waller. C, Harley Quinn and Peacemaker. Or D, Harley Quinn and Boomerang. Which 2 have had their own series?
Harley Quinn and Boomerang.
Harley Quinn and Peacemaker.
Boom! Yes!
Yes.
That is correct!
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Wow!
Even look. Even I knew that. Okay.
Man, it'd be awesome if it was, though.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man! Again?
Go.
Mr. Sean Gunn.
Weasel versus Polka Dot Man. Old friends.
Oh.
I want a softball.
Oh, yeah, cue up the special guest.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Hola. ¿Cómo están? How are you? I've got a question. What career military man probably wishes he'd never followed in his dad's footsteps?
Joaquin, the great Coachy Loco.
Rick Flag Jr.
I had Super Grover. Is Super Grover?
It's not Super Grover.
You're wrong,
Rick
Sean.
Flag Jr.
You're wrong. Wrong canon.
Points for creativity.
Now, there's no multiple choice. You just got to answer right away, and you have to have it be the right choice.
Okay.
Who has more tattoos, Harley Quinn or Pete Davidson?
Harley Quinn? No.
Pete, Margot gets another point.
I was thinking about his character. Oh, I
How we were
think
shooting.
this is a language. This is a misunderstanding.
That's always your answer when something goes wrong.
James.
Who's next?
The Bond.
Fillion, TDK.
What's the government's official code name for the Suicide Squad?
I thought it was the Suicide Squad.
No.
It's the only thing I know.
Mei Ling's dying over there.
There's
Extremely.
Task Force X.
X.
Task Force X. I can't say that even if I knew the answer.
You said it.
Task Force X.
You say it in the movie. Some of these are too easy. Hey, can we go to like one of our secret guest questions?
Hey guys, which team member would you sacrifice first?
Rooker. Correct answer.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Is that what you said, Steve?
That's what I said.
What's the answer, Jen?
I would have to go with Savant because he's played by Michael Rooker. And if anyone here has ever had to spend a day working with Michael Rooker, I think they'd probably have the same answer.
You know what? People are always like that. They always want to get rid of the most dangerous one first. Yeah, I understand where this is coming from.
Morale.
All right, we're going to have Flula versus Elise. Oh, boy! Which character made his or her first full appearance in Superboy #9 in 1994? A, Mongal. B, King Shark. C, Bloodsport. D, The Thinker.
May I ask a question, Mr. Gunn?
Oh, no. Yeah.
When you say full appearance, does this mean like everything was exposed? Is it?
The character was not fully exposed. No, the character had some items of clothing on.
Got it. Then I would answer King Sharky.
I was going to say B.
B, King Shark. How did you guys know that?
No. Oh, I said King Sharky. That's incorrect. So
okay, so it goes to Elise.
Yeah, sorry. Jeopardy rules, guys. Pronounce it right.
Like not even going to get.
Wait, he doesn't get that?
You can't just give away the point.
What? You can't give away your point, dude.
Why not? I give away snacks at lunch.